We are in, the church is in, most churches don't understand this, but the church is in a whole new dimension. And those that understand it and see it, God is saying, come on and get some fruit. Come on and get the first of what I got for not only you. Oh God. That just sunk right into me. Commercial brought to you by Jesus Christ, the Son of the living God. Lord, if this is true, and it is, why is it that I have caught so much hell and have been through so much humiliation? Why is it that I have been scorned and talked about and rejected? Why is it that it's like everybody's talking about me? God said it's like that because I needed to get folk focused on you, that when I bring you if you can understand when I bring you out and you come back with evidence, you're going to have a whole crowd that wants to know what it is that you're doing, what is about yours. I found out long time ago, my pain, my disappointment, the broken dreams and all of that, the frustration and the tears wasn't about me. All that you're going through is for another generation and another people. It is about your sacrifice that you're able to pave the way for somebody else to be able to just be born in it. What's this? Why did the Lord say that? Say discern. Say it again, discern. God wanted you to have this different spirit. And the different spirit is the ability to go into a situation and discern. Say discern. You're going to say, Bishop, what's all this stuff that's laying around in the midst of recession? What's all this stuff when everybody's talking about cutting folk off and cutting jobs and all of that? Please understand, everything. Do you realize that blessings are tied around tribulations? God put your stuff in tribulation, because if he just sat it out there, folk who didn't pay the price, folk who weren't mature enough, folk who weren't processed enough would just get it. But see, your spirit is so different. If you can get the sense of something up in here where most folk are turned around, where most folk give up, you ain't gonna give up because you got a different spirit. God said something's here, and if God said something's here, What's this? I can't say this like I said it this morning. If I had time, I'd tell you, and I read Hebrews 5. I ain't going there because God's not leading me there. He said, just leave it alone. Tell him to touch your neighbor and say, discern. It's how you can go into situations and discern things spiritually. Look at me. Look at me. Look at me. Look at me. I can smell a bad deal. Go into the car dealership, but discern. Look over the contracts, but discern. Everything that comes at you ain't for you. Discern. There's something. Well, watch this. And watch this. Watch this. Watch this. I have found that there's always a counterfeit that comes before the real thing. Y'all need to hear this. Y'all need to hear this. Not only have I found that, but I also found that the counterfeit up front looks better than the real thing. You're not hearing me. You're not hearing me. I wasn't going to follow Jesus being born in a manger and all that stuff and running and all that. No. But I had to stay with him because he didn't look like what we thought he would be from the front side. But if you hung in there with him, he became the King of glory. What's this? What's this? What's this? Listen. 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 I got but one thing to say. Good God. They came back. Touch the name. Say they came back. After 40 days. Which is a time of testing. Watch this. Watch this. Watch this. Watch this. They came back with the report. Say they came back with the report. God's going to show you some things, not for you to shut up about, but for you to report and tell others what God said. There is a more excellent way. There is a new thing God is doing. There is, and I've got evidence. But say, but 10. 10 said everything God said is true, but they strong. They got fortified cities. Look at me. They're talking themselves out of destiny. There's more of them than us. They're stronger than us. The son of Nak is there. There are giants in the land. And then they said, and we are like grasshoppers in their sight. Then he said, and so they were. Now, look at me. 10 said no. And that 10 helped the whole 3.5 million waiting on the report to die in the wilderness. 10 folk killed a generation. Now, when you study the names of those 10, you will find that most of their names are heavenly names except one. In Numbers 13 and 13, you ain't got to turn there, I'm going to read it. Sepser, name, meant hidden. Look at me. I'm about through, y'all. I swear I'm about through. I'm going in the back and eat with the college students. What's this? What's this? What's this? 12 went. They were there 40 days. But there was one hidden in the crowd who introduced doubt to convince at least 10. You're not hearing me. You got folk around you that appear to be spiritual, that talk like they're spiritual, but in your crowd there is one that's hidden. And just as soon as you start believing that there is something bigger and what God is showing you is true, that one who's hidden will start to speak no. do you have around you that's hidden? They were doing a whole lot of talking, and the Bible said that Caleb quieted the crowd, said, we're well able to take it because God said it. People will start whispering. You're not qualified. What makes you think you? Do you realize that ain't nobody done that? I know God's got his hand on you. But don't you think you should wait? Do you remember what you did last night? Do you realize God ain't looking at somebody like you? What gives you the nerve to think that you're stronger and smarter than somebody like you? Look at your grades. Why do you think you're going to be something? Remember what your mama said. 40 days. Somebody needs to quiet them voices that's been telling you that you can't, that you're not. I want to suggest something else. This 40 days, just see, walk in, grab hold of. You ain't got to talk to nobody. Be careful who you speak to. What's this? He said, go and discern whether the city is a camp or a fortress. Because, see, as soon, some of you are going to see big things in front of you that will hinder you. Now, watch this. And the first thing that comes to your spirit guides the whole thing. And if the first thing comes to your spirit, I can't do it, you have now cursed yourself. Because you offered up the first fruit, which was doubt. Be careful what you think when the doctor tells you something that you didn't want to hear. The first thing should come in your mind is, yeah, I hear that, but I've got another doctor. I need to get a second opinion. I'm not going to receive what you said. Two. Say two. Only 2 out of the 12 had the good report. Joshua, whose name equates to Jesus. If you got Jesus, that's enough. But watch this. I didn't say you had to be by yourself. I said if you got Jesus, that's enough. Watch this. Because he'll tell you, cut this one, cut that one, because I got somebody else for you. Move out of this one, come to this one. I got somebody else. There's a banker waiting to meet you, but you got stuff in your way. I'm just switching. But you don't understand, I've been with this person a long time. Time up. Why? Because that person ain't gonna get there until they see your evidence. So if you really love them, you got to leave them for a little while so you can get yours and come back. Do you know what Caleb's name meant? Caleb's name meant a biting dog. That means whatever he heard, he put his teeth into it and he wouldn't let go. Caleb was like a pit bull. He wasn't letting go until it was dead. God got some things for you that you can't let go. Regardless of what you see in the natural. There is a baby in your spirit. Receive it. It's time. It's time. Don't you think it's time? It is the season. We early into this thing now. God said, can I get enough of you to go in and get something out of it? I'm tired of folk running in and leaving and not coming back, just getting samples and raiding the promise instead of walking in it. I want somebody to walk in it with evidence. Something is in your spirit. I'm stripping layers. Grab his Bible. It's been a while. There are some layers of unbelief on you. Good God. When can I get those who can walk with Jesus? And whatever he says, sink your teeth into it. Regardless of what folk are saying. Thought you were crazy. You've been sitting up saying you got to be better than this. I'm tired of watching others suffer. It's got to be better. It's got to be more than just coming up in a place and singing. It's got to be something else. It's got to be something, and something inside of me says I'm bigger and greater, but I keep talking myself out of it. Don't talk yourself out of it. I need you to stand. You got to take a moment, and whatever God placed in your spirit, tell God, I believe it. Just talk to him. You don't need me to preach to you right now. You need to talk to yourself. There's some things that you've been sniffing around, but God meant you to bite into it. There's something in there, and if you don't grip it hard, you're not going to get the release. There's some stuff. Oh, God. God. There's some things that are going to happen. Please don't move. Hear me. There's some things that are going to happen for some folk tomorrow. Tomorrow there was some stuff you were dealing with that you didn't know how to deal with, and you was and God spoke to you. I'm not telling you anything, but you've been kind of teeter-tottering on doubt and trying to figure what if and all that stuff. Let me tell you something. Your 40 has started. Please understand this. If you could, whoever I'm talking to, you need to just start coming to this altar right now. This is something fresh you got to deal with tomorrow. This ain't on no paper. God said you need to just stand back and watch my salvation. God has already placed victory in your mind and in your spirit. Do you hear me? It ain't gonna go like what them whisperers are saying.